Hey guys, it's Beckett, and this is my 2021 in the bag. Alright, so first off I'm going to start with my putting molds. First putting mold I have are my Pro D Challengers. I bagged 2 of these. They're only for putting. I don't throw with them. They have a lot of glide to them, and they have a nice feel. So, if it's raining, I don't have to worry about them slipping out of my hand, and they just feel great for any kind of jump putts and just dead straight when I'm regular putting them inside circle. I also bag another Pro D Challenger. I throw this one. I don't putt with it. But this thing just goes dead straight. I can put a little bit of hyzer and just have it flip up to flat, or I can throw an Annie, just holds that line for any type of upshot that I need. Alright, the next putting mold I have, well, some people say it's a putter, some say it's a mid, but it's a Foundation Z Zone. Now I don't like the zones for backhands. I use them a lot for forehands. I'll throw a forehand off the tee with this thing, upshots, anything that I need just a nice stable slow forehand shot with. Alright, next mold I have in my bag are my Macbeth Tour Series Z Lunas. These two have different stabilities. This one is more understable than my kind of grayish looking one. I use these things for all type of shots, Annie, straight, hyzer. They just hold any line I put on them, and I can put a lot of power in them and don't have to worry about them just flipping over. I love to use them out in the open and in the woods. When I'm in the open, I can get them a good 350, just so much distance, and these things are the best. Alright, the last putting mold I have in my bag is a Aviar X3. Now this thing is probably the oldest disc in my bag, probably 3 years, and it's just so beat up and it's so straight. And just like my Z Zone, I throw this thing only for forehands. I'm not a big fan of the backhand with it, but if I need just like a little slight touch forehand that will go 200 feet, this is the disc that I'm going to pull out. Alright, now to my mid-range molds. I bag a few different type of mid-range molds. I'm going to start off with my Buzz SS. This is a newer disc in my bag. I'm still learning it, and I just was trying to find like a mid that was understable but kind of held its line and wouldn't flip up too much and roll out on me. But this thing kind of flies like a Buzz right now. I haven't really beat it up as much as I'd like, but the feel of it is really nice, and I love to just put it on Annie lines and have it hold its line, or put it out a little hyzer and have it flip up straight. Alright, the next mold I have are my regular stock ESP buzzes. I bagged 2 of them. They both fly differently. This one's more straight. This one's got a little bit of a hyzer finish to it. But these things I love in the woods. If I have to hit a tight gap, these are my go-to discs, and they can go very far. I can get them a good 350, but these are the best. If you're looking to find a beginner mid-range that isn't too stable for someone but has a great feel to it, this is the disc I recommend, the ESP Buzz. Alright, next mold I have in my bag is a Tour Series Paige Pierce Z Buzz. This thing I don't throw as much because I'm still kind of learning it, but it's a real stable buzz, but I do love to throw it. This thing I use it a lot when it's more windier at certain courses that I play, or if I need a nice straight to hyzer finish on a hole. This is a disc I'm going to pull out, and I can't wait to learn it more during this off season for my tournaments. Alright, last mold of my mid-ranges is my Paul Macbeth stock Malta. Now I was throwing only the what's it called? The test flight, whatever, Maltas. And then I was kind of hesitant to try the new stock Maltas just because I heard that they had more dome to it. But I'm glad that I tried them. I think it feels more comfortable in my hand than the prototype ones, and but they still have that nice hyzer finish that I was looking for in a mid-range. Really stable, great disc. Alright, now I'm going to go to my fairway molds. Now right now I'm testing out a new fairway mold, so I'll tell you about that as I get to it. But the first fairway mold is my Paige Pierce ESP Stalker. This thing is a beauty. I guess really the main reason I love it is it reminds me of just a faster and a little more glidier ESP buzz. And so if I need that same kind of shot out of my buzz, if I need more distance or I can trust it a little bit better, then I'll go to this disc. And I use it again mostly for in the woods because I can't get as much distance as I'm looking for out of it. But in the woods, you know, I can hit any type of tight line, any to have it flex out or flat to straight. And so this is a great disc. Next mold I have is my Titanium Undertaker. I've been throwing these for a while now, a couple years, and I just love the flight of them. You know, I can put it out on a hyzer, have it flip up to flat, and just get a lot of distance, or put it on an ante line and hold it and flatten out towards the end, or just kind of rip it flat and have it hold that flat line. And these things go really far. Right now I'm still learning on how to flick it. I like to have a little flip up flick with these discs, but Titanium Undertaker. Alright, so this is the disc that I'm still working on. It's my Titanium Vulture. Now I like the flight of the Vulture, but I don't think that the titanium plastic is really what I'm looking for. Now I'm not worried about, you know, tournaments coming up and I'm like, oh, I'm still looking for discs to put in my bag. I think this is the right disc, just not the right plastic. I'd love to try ESP plastic with it, or any type of other plastic that Discraft creates with this mold. But other than that, it's a great disc. I can, you know, rip it out flat and I know it's gonna finish left really nicely. Last fairway mold in my bag is the Tour Series Paul Ulibarri Raptor. This thing I'm in love with. You know, I put forehand flex, forehand hyzer, backhand flex, backhand hyzer, any you know, tough shot I need that I can manipulate with this disc. But I mostly use it for forehands. It's really comfortable in the hand and just comes out like no other disc for me. You know, I'm still working on my forehand, and this is probably my favorite disc to throw forehand with. Alright, last but not least, my driver molds. Start off with my Paul McBeth 4-time Star Destroyer. This thing is super reliable for me. I throw it backhand and forehand. I just love the feel and the stability of a backhand shot that I can get with it. And I love the forehand as well. I can put a little bit of ante on it or release it flat, and I know that's going to come back and hyzer out, and it won't turn too much on me. Alright, the next mold I have in my bag are my DD3s. I have just a regular stock DD3 and then a first run Cloudbreaker. The print's kind of all wiped away, so you can't really tell. But these things are super beat up. As you can see, they look like they've been through rough times. These things I throw really only forehand. They just are so comfortable to me, and I can just release them flat and they go so far until they finish and hyzer out. I don't really trust them much on too much of an ante line, just because I feel like I can put too much on it and it'll just finish off left and thrower on me. But other than that, these things are great to throw, and I also use them for grenade shots. They're just comfortable for little grenade shots, but these things are great. Next mold in my bag are my my Zeuses. I bagged 2 of them. My first one is a regular stock Zeus, and this thing it's got a nice pop to it, and it's kind of flippy, so I can put it out on a hyzer line, have it flip up to flat, you know, tail right a little bit and then come back. This is my big distance disc. If I'm looking to I just need a big drive in a hole, I'm out in the open, this is the disc to go. I just rip on it and it just sails 500 feet, 500 plus. Next Zeus I have is a Black Ink's Disc Zeus stamp, and this thing is sick. This thing is a little stiff. What I like that it's stiff because it makes it more stable, and so then I can have a little more trust with it than a Zeus. If it's a little bit windier and I need that distance, and this is the disc to go with. I'm still learning how to throw Zeus's on forehands. I see Paul use them all the time. He loves them. But they just don't have that right feel for me. But backhands are the best. Alright. My next mold of drivers I have is the Force. I bagged 2 of them. The first one is a Z Force. The reason I love Forces so much is that I can rely on them when it's, you know, a strong headwind, and I can rip my disc in the headwind and I know it's not going to flip up and sail right on me. The Z Force I love to throw really only backhand. I'm not a fan of throwing it forehand. And that's why I actually bagged 2. I have an ESP one as well, which is a Black Inks disc again, sweet looking stamp that I use. With the ESP, I only use forehand with it. I don't know, I'm just kind of weird like that. But with plastics, certain different plastics feel better for me when it's a backhand or a forehand. And the last disc in my bag is in my little hidden spot on my grip bag in the back. This is my prototype Paul McBeth Hades. This thing is like 165 grams, super flippy, and I don't use this thing other than forehand rollers, backhand rollers, just kind of fun shots that I can do out in the open and in the woods. Really, I don't use this thing much in tournaments other than just kind of, you know, if I need a roller, then I'll throw it with it. But I use it a lot just to kind of show off to friends. I'm like, hey, look what this disc can do. But yeah, that's about it. To finish it off, I'm just going to talk about the accessories I have in my bag. These little side pockets I carry minis in. I think I don't have my other one in there. I usually have a water bottle with me. I carry around snacks during my rounds, you know, so if I get hungry I can snack on something. I'm a big fan of Kind bars. I don't know if you guys like Kind bars, but they're my favorite to use. And then as well, I have a Bushnell rangefinder just to help me inform me about the distance that I have left with a shot, and so then that helps me choose what disc I need. You know, say I'm torn between a buzz or a stalker and I see how far it is, I'm like, oh, you know, I need more distance, I can throw my stalker. And that's really about it. Thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one.